Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Bedford High School Stadium here on this gorgeous Friday night. It's the home opener for the Bulldogs as they host the Salem Blue Devils. I'm Harry Kozlowski here with Corey Munster-Tiger, and Corey, this team is looking to bounce back from a tough loss to Nashua North last week.
Yeah, it was a frustrating game for the Bulldogs last week. As you mentioned, tough call went against them just before halftime, but that's not the only problem that they had during the night. Their offense just couldn't quite get it going, only mustering 7 points on the evening in their loss to Nashua North. Down at Stello Stadium, but tonight they have an opportunity to rebound, playing a tough team from Salem. We'll see how they do rebound.
And yesterday I had a chance to speak with Coach Zach Matthews about that game and a little bit about this one. Let's check out what the coach had to say.
We're talking with Coach Zach Matthews coming off last week's loss to Nashua North. There was a lot to digest in that game, Coach. Give me a few of your takes.
Yeah, well, I think certainly when we were on the field on Friday night, there was a lot of frustration from, I think, our players and our coaches. And, we certainly didn't execute the way we wanted to execute. I think some breaks in the game obviously didn't go our way either. And the bottom line is we've got to play better football. I said to the kids that the effort was there. I thought we played really hard. We continued to play hard in the second half, but way too many assignment mistakes, too many silly penalties that kind of hurt us. And obviously turnovers are a big factor in that type of football game as well.
We thought your defense held up very well, giving up just 12 offensive points. What do you think made the difference on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, I think, speaking from a head coach standpoint, I think defenses typically early in the season are ahead of offenses. And I think that, on offense, when it comes down to execution and having everything clicking, sometimes when you're developing offensive lines and things like that, it takes a little bit longer. I think a lot of our experience this year coming back are kids who've played on the defensive side of the football. And some of the kids that we have that are a little greener and getting their first experience is on offense. And I think that was something that definitely showed on Friday night. Our defense settled in, gave up they moved the ball early, forced a couple field goals, kept really them out of the end zone other than once. And I thought our defense really anchored us. And offensively, we just couldn't get into a flow. We would have a good play here, a couple good plays, and then there would be a missed assignment or a penalty or something along those lines. So there's no doubt early in the season, while some of our younger players on offense gain that experience, I think we're going to lean on our defense to play really good football.
Speaking of new guys, Danny Black showed a lot of poise, I thought, in his first start, especially facing a fierce pass rush from the Titans' Toby Brown Jr.
Yeah, I think that one of the things, here's the hard part about when you look at a situation like that. We knew Nashua North had a lot of kids. They pretty much returned everybody from a 500 team last year that took their lumps. We knew about Toby. A lot of people don't talk because of Toby. They don't talk about the Peters kid, who is an inside linebacker, number 44, who did a really nice job pressuring Danny as well. And they play those two kids on the same side of the field. So the Peters kid is a Division I athlete. He's going to be playing lacrosse at UMass, and so we know what he's capable of. And yeah, I think that was a situation where people look at it, and I was proud of Danny and his toughness. But speaking very honestly, we need all of our guys on our offense to improve for a passing attack to take the next step. Some of those sacks and hits are on the quarterback because the ball's supposed to be out or we should be looking somewhere else. Some of them are mistakes on the offensive line. And then the forgotten piece is that some of the other parts of that pressure is when running backs aren't picking up some blitzing linebackers, and that's their responsibility. So although I think Danny had a tough night as far as time in the pocket, I think that he came out of it with a valid learning experience, and we're trying to use that experience and move forward to hopefully put him in some better situations on Friday night.
And speaking of Friday, things don't get any easier. You're taking on Salem. They had a big win last week over Central. What do you think are the keys to that game?
Very, very specifically, I think, our defense is going to have to play really well again. It's really the tale of two offenses when you look at week 1 and week 2. Nashua North is a spread offense, whereas Salem is a wing T offense. And the wing T is an offense, obviously, that has passed the test of time, and Salem's been running it for a long time. So I think that when you play a wing T team defensively, you have to be aware of your responsibilities. Everybody can't try to do too much. Everybody just kind of has to do their job, and you have to be consistent. So our defense defense is certainly going to need to play well. And then offensively, like I talked about before, our execution just needs to be better. We need to be a little more consistent in our blocking assignments, and we need to stay on our blocks a little bit longer. I think it's going to be a really good football game. I said to our kids in practice that when you look at Salem, the one thing I know about that community and that football program is they're going to show up and they're going to make you earn it. So I think it'll be a really good football game. I think we've had a really good week of practice, but I expect it to be a very physical football game, and we've got to be ready for that.
And last question, it is the home opener. What does it mean for your guys to be playing in front of the home crowd for the first time?
Yeah, to be honest, it feels like forever since we played at home, and we didn't have any home scrimmages, obviously, so the last time we were on that field was playoffs last year. So I know our players are excited to be at home. I know that our student body, being a teacher here at BHS, there's been a buzz in the school this week. There's been kids talking about Friday night all week long. So we're excited about that environment. We're really excited for our entire community, really, for the kids to get out there on the field at home. It's nice to have the first home game, and typically it's one of the better crowds of the year. So we're certainly looking for that crowd support, and hopefully they'll give the boys a boost, especially at the early part of the game, with that energy level.
Thanks a lot, Coach, and good luck tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate your time.
Coach Zach Matthews of the Bulldogs, and the team enters the field in front of the home crowd, and like the coach expected, we do have a good turnout here.
Team trotting out from the mouth of the Bulldog out to our right-hand side. Nice little blow-up touch there. Sometimes you see from the Patriots and from the Buffalo Bills, as Harry's wearing his Bills jersey over here. You can't fault him too much. Yeah.
I'm still on a high from last night.
Fair enough. Student section is looking strong, as Coach Matthews was referring to in his interview. He was hoping the excitement of the home opener was going to rub off on the rest of the student body, and it certainly has. The music department has put together a great marching band and color guard. They're going to perform this evening our national anthem here in a moment. A lot of excitement tonight, Harry.
And what do you make of the Salem team that runs, let's put it bluntly, it's a pretty old-fashioned audience. Offense, same kind of offense that Newt Rockney might have ran at Notre Dame.
Wing T, smash mouth football. They say we're bigger, we're stronger, we're faster, and we're going to smash it right down your throat. So you're going to need your defense to step up strong. Plug those gaps up the middle. Look for the misdirection. Look for those pulling guards and tackles coming from opposite sides, and be ready for anything. It's really going to start with that front seven. The down linemen and the linebacking crew are going to be a key to this game for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the Salem program, well known for running backs. Sabande was one of their last great ones, and today, we're going to be looking out for guys by the name of Gavin Simone, also David Jacques, and Daniel Hughes. That's going to be the three-headed monster that they're going to be putting up against the Bulldogs.
I believe he goes by Jakes, so we'll refer to him throughout as David Jakes.
Thank you.
One down note for the Blue Devils, one of their starters in the backfield from last week, Justice Casado, is going to miss tonight's game. Apparently he got dinged up at the end of last game, so we will not see him tonight. But we do have plenty of options there, and they're going to be coming full force at the Bulldogs.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time,
so as we get ready for the game, we're going to have the anthem played here in a moment. We're actually going to observe a moment of silence in recognition of 9/11 here in a moment as well. So the pregame festivities are abound. Flag is at half-staff, and of course, we'll remember our brethren across the pond after Queen Elizabeth's passing yesterday.
Americans who lost their lives 20 years ago this Sunday. Thank you. Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem performed by the Bedford High School Marching Band.
Bedford Marching Band performing the national anthem here as we're getting ready for kickoff. I wasn't paying attention as the coin flip taking place yet.
I didn't see it either. I was distracted by all the frivolity going on. Of course, Mr. Bruno conducting the band for the national anthem. The moment of silence. There's a lot going on here.
I believe they're going to be gathering the captains now to meet at center field, 50-yard line, over the Giant B and do that coin flip to determine who will get first possession.
I agree. I don't think they would have done that during the moment of silence or the anthem. So looks like they're gathering right there at the 50. They'll meet at midfield, and we'll determine how we kick things off tonight. Bulldogs won the toss last week down in Nashua, chose to defer. We'll see if they continue with that strategy. They were all set to have last possession of first half, first possession of second half, but that was foiled by that infamous play that we referred to.
Right, that was the return for a touchdown.
I have discovered since that the play was ruled an interception on the field instead of what we thought was considered a fumble. They did consider it a forward pass, but they didn't see it hit the turf, which
apparently
again, our replay showed, and therefore it was ruled an interception return for a touchdown.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate break there for the Bulldogs, but here we are. Captains are at the 50-yard line. The officials are giving the explanation now.
Captains for the Bulldogs, we have Evan Sabati out there, as well as Jake Ben, Cal McAuliffe, and Jake Sheff. Can't quite see numbers for the Blue Devils, but we'll see who we can. I believe Josh Brady is out there.
Yeah,
Josh Mangian.
Right.
Luke Mazeka. And I'm not seeing the. Oh, that's all. There's only three, so that's all three of them.
Okay.
There we go. I'm looking at the roster and looking at the field at the same time.
And the result of the toss indicates that Salem is going to receive.
Salem will receive the opening kick.
Handshakes at midfield. Cordial before the game, and then of course not so cordial during play.
No, then it's all business. And speaking of business, I think the Bedford defense might have some momentum going into this game. They really only gave up 12 points to the Titans last week on the offensive side of the ball, and I thought they were pretty effective against the run. They got caught on a few, but overall I think they kept the Titans under wraps.
And honestly, North really only had one drive they put together. They scored a touchdown, missed the extra point, but then they had an outstanding kicker on the field who buried three long field goals, one from 35 and one from 39. That was Taplana, who was able to put some points on the board from special teams.
And we were watching him in warm-ups, so he was hitting them from 50 plus.
He sure was. Quite a leg on that kicker down in North. We'll see what kind of leg comes out tonight, as Colby Snow, I believe, will handle the kickoff duties for the Bulldogs. Back deep for Salem, we have Taylon Walton, and I believe that's David Gasborough, 21. Is that what you see? 22 and 21.
Gasborough, yeah.
Teams are lined up. 12 minutes are on the board. Helmets go up on the Bedford sideline, and Snow is ready to kick it off. Game 2 of this 2022 season. Tough kick, short and left. Great bounce, but it's going to trickle out of bounds, and that draws the yellow hanky.
Yeah, Taylon Walton was smart there to wait till the ball hit the sideline before making a touch. I guess it's a little risky because if it bounced back in, he would have been caught pretty tight. But he gambled, and he gambled correctly, getting pretty good field position now at the 35-yard line for the Salem Blue Devils to start with.
1st and 10, Blue Devils, and we get our first look at their wing T offense. They will be guided by Nolan Lumley, who will be under center at quarterback. Handoff here off the right side, right tackle, rumbling ahead for 8 yards. David Jakes right away. Strong carry on first down. They'll have 2nd and 8.
Yeah, great big hole on the right side opened up for Jakes, and he took advantage of it.
Excuse me, that's 2nd and 2 after an 8-yard run. Maybe only 2nd and 1 as they have a generous spot out at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, it's a long one, just shy of the 44-yard line here.
Nolan back under center, 2nd and 1. The defensive line shifts right up the middle,
Wow.
and he gets stuck hard. Great step into the hole by Jake Sheff. That ball was handed off to Daniel Hughes, and he didn't have much room at all. Tackled right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a half-yard gain, so 3rd and short, again at the 44.
Yeah, Sheff really plugged the hole there. As the
Stepped
replay
up
showed,
beautifully,
he did
yes.
a great job there.
Right up the gut there. It was pretty much right off the center or guard, and they came in and stuck him hard.
Well, big stop on 2nd means third down counts all the more here. 3rd and short.
Handoff, left side, and they stack him up behind the line of scrimmage. And the Bulldogs defense comes up huge on 3rd down. Handoff to Gavin Simone. And as you see on the replay, off the left tackle, defense steps up and swarms him on the tackle.
And that was a play that was kind of doomed from the beginning.
Sure was.
Bedford was already breaking in on the left side of the line, and Simone didn't try to change his direction, just tried to make the best of it and wound up losing a yard. So it's going to be fourth down and 2. Fourth down and 2.
4th and a long one. I'm not sure how you'd rule it, but
I'll call it a 2.
Lumley's coming back out under center. Pitch left side.
Wow.
And they keep him. Oh, wow. Great 2nd effort, I have to say. They had him wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, and they're going to move the chains.
Yeah, I thought
that was Gavin Simone on the carry out to the left side.
Was that? Actually, I think that was number 24 with the carry there, David Jacks. He got hit behind the line of scrimmage there by Snow. I think it was Snow, and couldn't quite close it off. I thought for a moment there Bedford was going to stop him there on 4th down, but Jacks was able to achieve the line of game.
We got a false start here, so they'll back him up 5 yards as Gavin Simone was a little too eager to start the play. 5 yards will put them behind schedule back to the 41. 1st and 15 for the Blue Devils.
Samuel Jones also eager on that too. He jumped a little early. So Salem now starting out on a 1st and 15 here on the Bedford 41-yard line. 9:25 to play here in the 1st, no score.
Double handoff there, looked up the middle, and they're going to stack him up again. Tackle for loss this time. Looked like Kevin Sheridan was in on that tackle.
Sheff was in there as well.
Loss of a yard, so it's going to be 2nd and 16. You know, the wing T is great when you're on schedule, but when you get to a 2nd and long, 3rd and long, you get behind schedule, if you will, it makes it tough for them to get back into decent yardage down in distance.
Salem has only been putting one receiver out there, and he's more or less in a decoration.
Lumley takes the snap. He's going to roll right. Looks down the field, tucks it away right away. 2 or 3 yard gain, so 3rd and long as the Bulldogs converge on the tackle.
Alex Gradinskas along with Kevin Sheridan on the tackle.
Strung it out well and kept Lumley only to a 2 yard gain, maybe 3. So 3rd and 14, we'll call it 13. First drive of the game is stalling here by the Blue Devils, and an important 3rd down early.
So what do you do when you need 13 yards and you run the wing T? Do you finally try to go to the air?
Possibly. You want to get your quarterback in space, get your athletes open, but knowing they didn't attempt to pass all of last game, I'm not sure we'll see that here.
2 receivers in this set.
Lumley, ooh,
He got hit.
and it's picked off. I believe Dom Tags with the pick. Returns it back to the 41-yard line for the Blue Devils, and Tagliaferro comes away with an interception and the first turnover of the game.
And that all happened thanks to the hit by the Bedford defense. The blitzer coming in from the backside. Lumley did not see the rusher and got the pass off, but got his arm hit just as he made the throw, and Tags is there to make the catch. Turnover for the Salem Blue Devils, and the ball on the Salem 41 now for the Bulldogs.
That ball definitely just floated out of Lumley's hands, and long enough in the air for Tagliaferro to come down with it. Danny Black now will be in the pistol. Motion by Soden. Snap off left tackle, and Sphere still moving his legs. Got 8, maybe 9 yards on 1st and 10, setting up 2nd and short yardage.
Sphere finding an opening there to the left. Line opening up blocks. Kind of a short spot there. I thought he got another 2 yards. I thought he got to the 32.
I believe he did too, but they'll roll with it. We didn't see a lot of Logan Sphere last week. Instead, Ledger Russell was handling the majority of the running duties. Black in the gun again, 2 backs this time. Snow will take the handoff, runs out to the right end, looking for a couple blocks, and he'll get the first down. They thought the ball was on the ground and we might have another turnover, and they do. The officials point in the direction of the Blue Devils. That ball popped out late in the play. As you see here, Snow gets some yardage, but that ball popped out and the Blue Devils pounce on it.
You know, it looked like Snow was on his knees when he got hit and lost the ball. He should have been called down by contact.
Well, that's what we see from up here. Those officials hopefully are right there making the right call. The timing of that was really tough. Snow was battling for additional yardage, and that extra effort caused that ball to pop out. The Blue Devils take over for their second
Bedford a little late to getting to the line of scrimmage.
Flags fly everywhere. I believe they had too many players out on the field. Quick changes cause confusions for mainly the defense, as a lot of those players aren't necessarily ready. And we'll figure out what happens here with these flags flying around.
The flag came from behind the line of scrimmage on the offensive side.
It seemed like there were several flags down. So we'll see what the referees determine here. They'll come to the side. Ooh, they call a false start on the Blue Devils. A little bit of a surprise there, as we thought there might be too many men. There you go, offsetting penalty.
There were too many men on Bedford, so it's offsetting call there.
And again, you get a quick change situation like that, it's advantageous for the Blue Devils to go quickly. They were trying to get the defense off guard, and as you could see, there were several defensive linemen and possibly linebackers that were still running on the field. So 1st and 10 after that change. The fumble by Snow. Lumley back under center. Spins, hands it off. Left side, and he's stacked up again at the line of scrimmage. That was Taylor Walton on the carry. Sophomore getting some time.
Speaking of scripts, it seems that there's not a lot of improvisation there by Salem. If Walton had the entire right side, that was a lot more open than he had. Instead, he just kind of followed his blockers right into a mass of black jerseys.
You know, I'm not going to put down Taylor Walton, but that's Barry Sanders-esque if he's going to have that vision to cut back to his right. Ball goes to the second runner through, gets out to the 31-yard line. I believe that's David Jakes again.
I wasn't trying to cast any aspersions. I'm just saying that there was opportunity elsewhere.
Fair enough.
On the line.
Fair enough. However, I will say, having played a lot of football, if that running back doesn't go to the hole where the play is designed, he's going to get yelled at by his coach. Say, why the heck didn't you run to the left side where all of our blockers are?
Good point.
Yes, it's tough. We see a hole big enough for a freight train to go through, but that's not where the play is designed to go. So that running back's trying to do what his coach wants him to do. We're going to have a timeout here by the Blue Devils. 3rd and 5. Again, early here in the first quarter, we've had a lot of action. A pick, a fumble. two possessions now for the Blue Devils, and about 5:42 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, we really no punts, just a lot of a turnover on downs. I kind of count getting stopped on fourth. It should count as a turnover.
It's turnover on downs, right?
Quick program note: next week we're going to be hitting the road, going to Thornton Academy in Saco, Maine. It's going to be the out-of-state series that a lot of New Hampshire schools are doing, and Bedford's one of them. So we're very excited to be bringing you the game next week, Saturday, 17th. That's going to be a 1:15 start on the air on Bedford 105.1 as well as BCTV.
Realignment led to different schedules. As we talked to Coach Matthews in his interview last week, some teams got an 8-game schedule, others got a 9. Of course, Bedford got 8 within their New Hampshire opponents, so decided to schedule another game. Spin here by Lumley, handed off the left side. That's Jakes again. Excuse me, that's Daniel Hughes on the run.
That was Daniel Hughes on the carry. Tackled by...
And we'll have about a 4th and 4, and change of personnel. Looks like the Blue Devils are going to punt this one away. Back to receive, we have Dom Tagliaferro and Colby Snow. Handling the kicking duties is Josh Brady.
Yeah, Salem not willing to roll the dice here on their own 33.
Snap is back, fielded cleanly, punt is away. Lands at about the Bedford 40-yard line and gets a favorable bounce for the Bulldogs by about a yard. They'll take over there on the 41 for their second offensive possession. 0-0 is your score, 4:55 to go here in the first quarter. And despite no score, we've seen a lot happen.
Well, Roger Brown called it in his column today, making his game predictions. He did pick Bedford by 1 here, but he called for a low-scoring game, and so far that's playing itself out defensively on both sides.
Bulldogs have only had 2 offensive plays, but they moved the ball on both, having gained the first down. But unfortunately giving it away with the turnover. Black in the pistol again. Slot right, 1 split left. Sphere steps up to Black's right. Snow in motion. They give it to him again. Snow out around the right corner. He'll get ahead for about a 7-yard gain.
And they've been averaging about 7 yards per play so far.
You see the replay here. If Snow was the motion man, Black takes a little bit of a hit after he gives that ball off. Snow gets ahead for a solid first down gain. And it'll be 2nd and 4.
Clock is stopped with Snow going out of bounds on that play. 4:50 to go here in the first quarter. No score.
Black comes to the line again. Slot left. Tagliaferro motions. We're going to get a timeout by Coach Matthews. He saw some confusion in the backfield there. Didn't like what he saw and took that timeout. Not a bad call, right? You have 2nd and 4. You want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Burn a timeout somewhat early. However, you're at midfield. You want to make sure you get a sustained drive. You had the turnover on the first offensive possession, so you want to make sure that you're getting positive yardage and get a good sustained drive here.
Yeah, right. Coach Matthews wanting to make sure everything is everybody's on the same page. You don't want to waste these offensive possessions. They've been having success on these plays. They just want to make sure that everybody knows what to do.
So they huddle up with Coach Matthews at their own 40-yard line. Blue Devils opposite side of the field at about the 50. The ball is spotted on the 47, Bedford's 47. They are coming out. We have cheerleaders all around. The Blue Devils have brought their cheerleading unit. Bulldogs cheerleaders are here as well, and of course the marching band and color guard. Black again in the pistol. Sphere steps up to the left, slot left, split right. fake the handoff. Black over the middle. Great catch by Snow. He's off to the races, down to the 10, and he's in for a touchdown. Outstanding catch with that one-handed stab. You'll see the quick slant from the right side, 2 or 3 steps, sticks his right paw out there and drags it in for a reception. Outstanding athletic play.
Incredible catch there.
Colby Snow. Wow, and that'll electrify the crowd as they step up and start their cheers.
So the Bulldogs scoring on their second possession here on a beautiful pass play, 52-yarder?
53, as I believe they were marked at the 47. And what do you think of that timeout by Coach Matthews now? Snow, after scoring the touchdown, looks to add the extra point. Snap back, hold is down, and it is no good. He misses it wide left. But the damage is done as he gets in on a quick strike, right side slant, beautiful catch, and he turns it to pay dirt. Snow on the 53-yard touchdown reception.
And the Bulldog defense doing its job, stopping the Salem Blue Devils on their 2 possessions, forcing 4th downs on both of their possessions, but able to score on a quick strike with 4:41 left here in the first quarter.
So that's the adjustment that I was looking for tonight. Black last week was on the run, right? His protection wasn't great. 3-step drop in this case. 1, 2, 3. It's a timing play. He hits Snow coming in from the right-hand side. Again, that's a timing play. He needs to make sure his wide receiver gets those 3 steps and then cuts hard to the middle. Clearly have been practicing that, and it leads to pay dirt here tonight.
Practicing that one-handed catch?
I'm not sure he was practicing that. That was an outstanding play. I mean, Jerry Rice said he used to spray stickum on his gloves for 3 hours before the game. I'm not sure if Snow does the same, but it sure looked that way. And again, he kicks it off. Great kick down. Bounces off the player, Taylon Walton. And now he's got a little bit of room, but he brings it out to the 18-yard line. Good coverage there by the Bulldogs. And the Blue Devils will start their 3rd offensive possession with 4:35 to go in the first.
And the ball took a friendly bounce after it hit the turf, but the time he needed to regain possession really set him back. He didn't. His blocking broke down, and the Bulldogs were able to make a tackle there on the 18-yard line. So Salem's going to be starting much deeper this time.
Without that fortuitous bounce, that could have been real trouble for the Blue Devils. Instead, Lumley will take over at the 18. Back under center. Spins, hands it off, left side. Maybe a 1-yard gain there.
And I think that was Jack's on the carry.
It was. Again, right off that left guard, left tackle area. Ball will be spotted near the middle of the field. And that front 7 of the Bulldog defense is doing well to limit gains so far. You know, that old smash mouth football, 2-3 yards in a cloud of dust. If it's 3 yards, it works for the offense. If it's 2, it works for the defense. Only 2 there. Lumley back under center. They send the backers. Lumley is on the run and flings it ahead for an incompletion. Looked like David Gasparo was in the area, so that little flick is considered an incomplete pass, and it'll be 3rd and 8 for the Blue Devils.
Good pressure right there. At least 3 Bulldogs pursuing Lumley. He had no choice but to just get rid of the ball.
They came on a blitz. I'm not sure if you saw it. The weak side linebacker came in untouched and was chasing Lumley nearly directly from the snap there. So 3rd and long again. We'll see if the Blue Devils put it in the air. One split wide left. Lumley under center. Spins, we get whistles.
Could be a motion, the Bulldogs defense acting like it is.
I think it was a timeout. No flags. I didn't see any yellow hankies go up. No laundry, as the Blue Devils will take a timeout. Want to talk it over with this 3rd and long situation early in the first. Down by 6.
So good contest so far for the Bulldogs. They're losing the time of possession game,
Definitely.
but they're winning on the scoreboard, making the most of their possessions, getting points.
Maybe only 5 offensive plays, 2 in the first drive, and
Yeah,
maybe
I think
in the
about
second.
5. You're right.
Yeah.
Making the most of what you got.
I like that adjustment from week 1 to week 2, that 3-step drop. Let's keep our eyes open for future offensive possessions to see if that continues. Lumley now back. 3rd and 8 for the Blue Devils. Spins, hands it off. Around the left side, ahead for 2 or 3 yards is David Jakes, but not enough for the first down. He's marked out at the 23-yard line, and it will be 4th and 5. Blue Devils look like they're making personnel substitutions and will be punting this one away deep in their own end.
Yeah, Jakes couldn't get around the corner there. The Bulldogs defender sealing that side of the field off.
Snow and Tagliaferro back deep to receive the punt from Josh Brady. Snap is good. Punt is up, a little short. These are dangerous, as some of the blockers can be oblivious to where the ball is, but it does fall harmlessly away and is downed at the Bedford's 45-yard line, where they will take over for their 3rd possession.
Quick update on some other Bulldog sports programs, like the boys soccer team coming away with a 4-3 victory against Londonderry yesterday. They even up their record at 2-2.
.306 to go here in the first quarter. Bedford leads 6-0. Black comes back out to lead the Bedford offense from his own 45. Black in the pistol slot left. Soden motions to the right side. We're going to get a flag dropped right near the center, and I'm seeing a false start. The Bulldogs are going to get backed up 5 yards. So it'll be 1st and 15 from the 40.
And girls soccer team picked up their first win yesterday at Wyndham, 2-0 win. They're 1-3 on the year.
I believe you're looking at Alvarin girls soccer, not Bedford.
Oh, you are correct. The girls soccer are they're 5-0. Actually, they beat Londonderry at Londonderry 4-0. In fact, they've shut out everybody they played. I'm sorry, you're right.
Man, you better get those eyes checked, my man.
Yeah, really.
He's still in Buffalo heaven right now.
Black back in the pistol, hands it off the left side, over the guard. I believe that's Sphere ahead for 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 13. I'll give him 2.5, maybe 3. Yeah, 2.5. 2nd and 13. Some excitement from the marching band as they're playing some stand tunes. 3 receivers to Black's right side. Tight left is McAuliffe. Black takes a shotgun. Toss sweep to the right side is Sphere. Or is that Russell? I can't quite tell. 4 and 1 are so similar from these angles.
That is Ledger Russell.
Okay, that's Russell. Ahead for maybe 5 or 6 yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 8.
And let's give some props to girls volleyball. Undefeated, 2-0. A win on Wednesday, 3-1 over Hollis Brookline.
Just under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 6-0 Bedford. Ball's on their own 47-yard line. Black has Russell to his right, slot left, one split wide right. Snap comes, drops the pass, looks right, now over the middle. He's got a man. Snow can't make the one-handed catch again, just out of his reach. And it'll be 4th and 8. It looks like the punting unit will come on.
He would have been off to the races had he made that catch. And it's good to see how much time Danny Black's getting from his offensive line. They really kept him clean in the pocket on that play.
They sure did. As you saw there on the on the replay, Black had some time, was able to set his feet and deliver over the middle. Josh Attar is back to kick for the Bulldogs. Snap comes back right at helmet level. Punt is away. Received there by the by the Blue Devils, and they get ahead to about the 30-yard line. I believe that was Josh Brady.
Number 15,
I'm sorry, that's 15, Kalen Smith. It looked like a 13 for a moment. That was Kalen Smith fielding the punt and getting ahead for maybe a 2 or 3 yard return.
That penalty really set the Bulldogs back there. They've had quite a bit of success, but getting pushed back 5 yards really threw them off their rhythm.
They call that staying on schedule, right? You get behind the chains. 1st and 15 is much harder than 1st and 10. And you're trying to play catch up with the down and distance from that point. So any negative yardage plays, sacks, penalties, etc., they drive coaches crazy. Lumley comes back under center. Got more of a split formation here, but they hand it off right up the middle for a 5-yard gain is Jakes. David Jakes on the carry off the right guard. Smashes ahead. Gets to the 35-yard line, so 2nd and 5. A little bit of a different look there on offense from the Blue Devils as they had 2 wides. So split on both sides, and basically double slot kind of formation.
The Blue Devil coach Steve Abraham trying to throw a wrinkle in here.
Same thing here, but he gets stacked up at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1 as they hand it to Jakes up the middle again. 1.5. It's going to be 3rd and a long 3.
Clock is ticking down. We'll see if we'll get another snap off here in the first quarter.
Tackled there by Henrishon and Kevin Sheridan as they collaborated on that defensive play. 20 seconds to go. Looks like Lumley will look to get a playoff here. Similar formation. 4 receivers in the set. They fake to Jakes up the middle. Lumley goes out around the left side. A flag is down on the far side of the field. Lumley is ahead for a 1st down for now, but let's check on what the dirty laundry is. We see the replay here as Lumley goes out and around that left corner.
I didn't see anything obvious on replay, but the call is a hold.
Holding on the Blue Devils. That'll set them back. And that's that negative yardage play that we're talking about. It's going to drive Coach Abraham a little bit crazy. They had enough yardage for the 1st down, but the hold will bring them back. 10-yard penalty from the spot. So it looks like it'll be back to the 24-yard line. So 3rd and 16 now for the Blue Devils. And again, in a wing T offense, you don't have many plays that are going to get you 16 yards. Bulldogs benefit from that call.
We'll see if they come out with 2 receivers here.
Lumley trots back out to the huddle.
Josh Brady just kind of hanging out there. So they are going to put 2 receivers out there, Brady and Sam Jones.
Split wide apart. Motion out of the backfield. Lumley looks to pass. Over the middle, he's got a man, and just out of reach. That was Gavin Simone coming down the crease right up the hash marks. Had his man, as you see on the replay here. That ball is there. Simone just can't quite come down with it.
Yeah, it looked like he could have. I think he got his hands on it. He just couldn't get enough grip on the ball as it went over his head.
Blue Devils forced to punt here on 4th and 16. 1 second left in the first quarter. We'll flip it around after this play. Josh Brady again with the punting duties. Gets away a good one. Fair catch called for and pulled in at Bedford's 45-yard line by Colby Snow. So we don't have far to move. We'll go from the Bedford 45 on our right to the Bedford 45 on our left. The hash mark make the tangent there, the hypotenuse of the triangle. It's a little bit more than 10 yards, but
you
not
said
very
there'd
far.
be no math.
12 minutes back on the board, and Coach Matthews has to be pleased with that first quarter of action.
I was going to say the Bulldogs have had consistently great drive starts. All to their defense, able to stop the Blue Devils on their drives.
3 different results and 3 different offensive series. A fumble, a great touchdown by Snow with that one-handed grab turned into about a 40-yard run, and then a punt. So all kinds of different ways of moving that ball around.
I think that's one of the advantages the Bulldogs have, is that they have more in their bag of tricks, I think, than Salem certainly has shown tonight. The Bulldogs can make yards both on the ground and through the air, while Salem is pretty much limited to just keeping things on the ground.
And thus far, that first quarter, the front seven of the Bulldogs have held up well. A lot of great defensive line play and linebackers foiling that wing T. Black back in the pistol. Motion man is Tagliaferro. They give it to him off the left side, but he's hit hard 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage. I believe that was Daniel Hughes coming up from his linebacker position to make the stop.
I think Josh Brady was in there as well, and that's really the first negative play on offense that Salem has been able to put on the Bulldogs.
The only other being that false start penalty in the previous possession. So 1 yard isn't as bad as 5 yards on the penalty. 2nd and 11 for the Bulldogs. Slot left, split right. McAuliffe tight right. Black has Sphere in the background, who steps up to the right. Man in motion is Tagliaferro. That's an illegal motion by the Bulldogs, and they'll get penalized for it.
Yeah.
2 men in motion is not allowed by the gods of football, so you'll see the umpire motion, illegal motion. 5 yard penalty, and it'll be 2nd and 16 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, unfortunately, that penalty erases a pretty good gain there by the Bulldogs. So instead of having it be 2nd and about 6, it's going to be 2nd and 16.
He gets the 5 yards back, or lost it down.
Yeah, so it seems like the Blue Devils are talking this over. It would be, I believe, 3rd and 6 or 2nd and 16, and I think they're going to take the yardage. And the Bulldogs are marching back their huddle. So a 5 yard penalty makes it 2nd and 16.
Well, that's an interesting decision, because you're giving the Bulldogs 2 shots at making, actually 3 shots at making that first down instead of 2.
Down in distance, you're at midfield, probably thinking that they would likely go for it on 4th down. Black back in the gun. Slot right, split left. Motion by Snow. They hand it off, and he's met in the backfield quickly by Sam Jones, and that's another tackle for loss. He's about 4 or 5 yards on that one. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and 21.
Great call there on the defense. Jones, he got to the ball quicker than Sphere did.
Came up quickly on that outside position. I believe he's playing a D-end position.
Meet me at the hash mark, and
he sure
there you
did.
go.
Beat his block, met the runner in the backfield, and made a great tackle for loss. Slot right, split left. Black in the gun. Fakes the handoff, looks deep over the middle. Ball is deep. Out for a receiver. Good defensive play there, as
Kalen
pass
Smith
was intended for Tagliaferro, and you'll see the receiver here on the replay gets a hand in just at the last moment. That ball hung up there.
That was Kalen Smith, number 15, knocking it away. And they were really throwing it into a crowd. There were 2 Bedford receivers and 3 Salem defenders all in the same zone.
And that's got to be a mistake by one of those receivers. You don't normally have 2 receivers converging on the ball like that. You want to spread out out that defense and get some open areas for your receivers to get in. Kalen Smith had an interception last week in their opener and makes a great play on the ball there. Attar back to punt on 4th and 20. Snap is high over Attar's head. He's back, grabs it. He's able to field it, fakes the pass. He picks up a block and he's running, gets out to the 30-yard line, and we get a late hit out of bounds. And that's going to lead to a Bedford first down, as it was a late hit out of bounds. Attar did phenomenally well to get that ball on his own 2-yard line, made a positive effort to get yardage, and now he gets hit out of bounds. And I believe the Bulldogs will get a first down out of this.
There are 2 Blue Devils that hit him out of bounds. And he was well out of bounds when they hit him, too.
They sure will. Perhaps there are 2 personal fouls on the same play?
I don't know if they can do that. I think the act of getting hit is worth the flag.
I don't know.
But is it an automatic first down, or is it a
personal
yardage?
Foul. It's definitely an automatic first.
Well, we'll see what the officials call here. All the Bulldogs huddling around the officials waiting for the call.
We saw a snap over Attar's head last week as well. It has to be driving the special teams coaches a little crazy at this point. Dead ball, personal foul on the Blue Devils. So that will lead to...
Excuse me, they're pointing toward Salem having the first down here.
Because that happened as a dead ball, it was already 4th down. Attar was out of bounds.
Gotcha.
So therefore, Salem, the change of possession had already happened. Salem gets the personal foul, so they will get the ball, but it is a 15-yard penalty. They'll back them up.
So possession will still be in Bedford territory, I believe. It's going to be on the Bedford 47.
47, where the Blue Devils take over.
But not bad considering how that play began, with the snap sailing over Attar's head.
It could have been a lot worse, that's for sure. In those cases, you might think the punter might kick it out of the back of the end zone, take a safety instead of putting yourself at risk for a touchdown. But again, Attar did a great job of getting out to about the 30, 32-yard line, ran out of bounds, and then took a tough hit after the play, again, after the change of possession. So Blue Devils will have the ball on the Bedford 47-yard line, 1st and 10. Wow, crazy play.
We're seeing it all here tonight.
9:46 to go here in the first quarter, 6-0. The Bulldogs hold the lead. We get a timeout as the Blue Devils were a little disheveled coming out after that play. No more timeouts for the Blue Devils as they've taken their allocation for the first half. They'll talk things over.
Hopefully they won't need it this half. 9:46 remain. Trying to get you some scores from around Division I here from our friends at NH High School Sports.
Have one here. Bishop Girton leads Timberlane 23-7 at halftime.
And the Crimson Tide of Concord have a 14-0 lead over the Blackbirds of Keene.
I'll put a plug in here for the music department. The band is putting on the mattress fundraiser, as they do every year. That'll be Sunday, September 25th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I imagine that some of you out there need a new mattress, so make sure you come down. If you want, you can mention my daughter's name, Elsie Munster Tiger. I don't know that you'll get a better deal on it, but you might be able to find a mattress there. So it's kind of an odd fundraiser, but it definitely helps the music department, so come on down if you need a new mattress. Wow, shotgun Lumley here. Hands it off to Jakes over the right side, out to the right side, off to the right tackle. He gets ahead for a 9-yard gain on first down, and that formation was very unusual for a wing T program.
Yeah, that wrinkle definitely opened up some space for 24 David Jacks, picking up 9 yards on that play. He had a lot of empty space in front of him.
That shotgun formation as Lumley took the snap and handed it off quickly. He bowled ahead for a 9-yard gain, 2nd and 1 at the Bedford 37, 38-yard line. 38. In the gun again, fakes the same play, now looks over the middle, he's feeling heat, and he'll go down. Sheridan, that's Kevin Sheridan, comes up with the sack.
Nice sack by Kevin Sheridan.
1 yard loss. It'll be 3rd and 3 for the Blue Devils.
That snap came in kind of low to Lumley, and I think that might have threw his timing off a little bit.
Sure did, and it gave Sheridan some time to put the heat on and eventually come up with the sack.
So it's going to be a little tougher now, 3rd and 3.
Clock keeps ticking, 8.5 to go here in the first half. 6-0 Bedford leads on that Snow touchdown in the first quarter. Lumley in the gun again. He's got slot left. Looks to throw to his left side. Ball looked like it might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it's incomplete to the left side. It was intended for Kalen Smith, and it'll be 4th and 3. Call it a long 3.
And I believe they will be going for this, being in Bedford territory.
Ball is spotted on the Bedford 40-yard line, so punt doesn't give you too much here. And Lumley trots back out with Samuel Jones by his side. Blue Devils showing a little something new here with that shotgun formation. Similar here, slot left. We have a
flag.
Looks like an offsides on the far side for the by the Bulldogs. Jack Riso got a little too excited, came across the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be a first down, an easy first down for the Blue Devils. Lumley doing his best Aaron Rodgers impression and barking out the signals and getting the offsides call. 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils on the 35, heading in.
And that gives Salem the best field position of the day, deep in Bedford territory.
Lumley takes the shotgun. He's going to get hit behind the line of scrimmage, gets the ball away for an incompletion.
And they're going to flag that as a grounding call.
Nobody was in the area. Coming up from his position on the outside was Alex Gradinskis. And that was thrown away, but I believe they're going to call it intentional grounding. And that's what it is. So it'll be loss of down as well as the yardage penalty. That will be marched back.
They don't mark it at the spot of where the quarterback threw the ball?
No, that's from the line of scrimmage. It's an incomplete pass. It's a 5-yard penalty, but it's also a loss of down. Should be loss of down, but it still says first down on the far side. Lumley will come back out. Perhaps that's a level of play difference, as that marker still says first down. So 1st and 15, Blue Devils come out. Lumley in the gun again. Jakes comes over to the left side, motions back into the backfield. Lumley takes it from the gun. He's feeling heat again, and he'll go down. That's Jake Sheff on the sack this time.
Cal McAuliffe there for company as well.
Through. Hardly anybody touched Sheff as he comes right through, right up the right side of the line and gets onto him very quickly. Lumley takes a big loss there, 10-yard loss on the sack, and it'll be 2nd and 25.
Yeah, that was a well-timed blitz call right there.
Sheff, the sophomore, has been starting on this defense and making impact plays in both games so far this season. Several tackles last week, a few tackles for loss. I'm not quite sure if he actually had any sacks, but he's been an impact player so far for the Bulldogs. Lumley back under center. Spins, hands off, right up the middle. Sheridan, ball is out. Sheridan was
Ball's
on
still
that.
out.
Ball comes out all the way back to Tagliaferro, who's one of the defensive backs. It squirts all the way down to the 37-yard line, and the Bulldogs come up with another turnover.
Yeah, Lumley tried the misdirection handoff on the inside. I'm not sure when the runner lost control of the ball.
It looked like Sheridan had him wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage, if not behind, and somebody got a paw on it, squirting that ball free. And that ball traveled quite a bit of distance after it came out.
About 10 yards, and it gave Taliaferro really a clean shot at falling on the ball. I think he thought about picking up and running with it, but decided to keep the bird in the hand.
Possession probably more important than the return there. Black in the pistol. Ball comes out. Sphere off the left side. He'll get ahead for 1, maybe 1.5. It'll be 2nd and 9 or 8. Out to the 39-yard line for the Bulldogs.
Just under 7 minutes to go here in the half. Would be a good time for the Bulldogs to put together a long drive and make it a 2-score game.
Black in the gun, 2 backs in the backfield. He'll take the snap, hand it off near side, off the right tackle. Wow, a big hard run there. Outstanding play, bowling over tacklers as Russell put his shoulder down. You'll see a defender come up here. Watch this play right here. Boom, runs right over the tackler.
That was Gavin Simone who got rocked there by Ledger.
Gets another 6 yards after that stick. Big, hard, tough run by Ledger Russell there. Love to see that old school style football. Clock keeps running, just over 6 minutes to go. Black in the gun again. 2 backs in the backfield. He takes the snap, hands it off to Snow out to the left side. Great block on the edge by Russell there again. And Snow is ahead for a 5 or 6 yard gain. If we can see that one on replay, Ledger Russell did an exemplary job of coming up and taking on the block. It's a little too late there from the replay, but Russell got a fantastic block to spring Snow on the edge.
He sprung that play. It was going to be a loss if it wasn't for that hit, for that block.
And I have to say, 2 back-to-back outstanding plays from Ledger Russell. First, running over the tackler on that 8-yard gain, and then a fantastic block there on that play to get Snow forward. Same formation, slot right here. 2 backs in the backfield with Black in the gun. Takes the snap, fakes it, dodges 2 or 3 tacklers, now gets ahead for maybe a yard, gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he did pick up a yard there, got it up to the 45-yard line, Danny Black did. That was a slow developing play, and the backfield was full of white jerseys.
It sure was.
Pretty quickly. It was everything that Danny Black could do to get, and they're going to spot him at the line of scrimmage, so really no gain on that play.
He was sidestepping tacklers nearly from the instant he received that snap, and did well just to get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and a short 5, long 4. 3 receivers to the left side into the boundary. Black in the pistol. Russell behind him. Man in motion. They give it to him as Snow. He cuts it back up into the inside, but gets tackled short of the first down. I believe this will be 4 down territory.
Yeah, it's 4th and 2, and Colby really made the most of that, because once again Salem was able to penetrate the blocking. They were in the backfield, and it was a last-second cut there by Snow that allowed him to pick up 4 yards and make this a more reasonable 4th and 3. That's how they have it marked. It's going to be, I'll call it a long 2.
Okay, 4th and a long 2. First real test for the Bedford offense. 3 receivers near side, Black in the gun, 1 receiver split left. Takes the snap, and it's a quick kick. Black takes 1 step to his right and punts it.
Good bounce.
And he got a fantastic bounce, as it'll be down at the 6-yard line. And the Blue Devils would be backed up in their own end. I like the call.
Yeah, Zach Matthews playing the field position game here.
We saw him do that the past few years with Joe Michael as the quarterback. Again, Michael did a lot of the kicking, and now we see a different dynamic that I haven't seen out of Danny Black before with the quick kick. So 4:15 to go in the first half. The Bulldogs still lead 6-0 on Snow's 53-yard touchdown catch in the first quarter. Blue Devils backed up in their own end. They have 94 yards to go in 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Officials are taking a timeout here, not quite sure why. Trading the ball out, perhaps. Each team likes to have their own ball on the offensive side. Pause is over. The officials are retreating to their positions. And Lumley will come back. He's under center this time. They've abandoned the shotgun. Spins, hands it off. Second man through, gets ahead for positive yardage. Maybe a 7 or 8 yard gain.
Alexander DeVoe, the ball carrier.
Haven't talked about Alexander DeVoe yet as he gets his first carry of the night.
Picked up 8 yards on that play, got all the way up to the 14-yard line.
That brings up
Second and 2.
gain of 8 on the play.
Clock continues to run, just under 4 minutes to go. Lumley trots in. He's coming in with Josh Brady.
And Simone Hens for the bench.
Play is relayed to the Blue Devil huddle. They come out. Lumley under center. Motion man is Jakes. Toss sweep out to the right-hand side. Wow. Defensive play, but he gets run over.
That was a good run.
It sure was. Up on the play, I believe that was Alex Grudinskis coming in from the corner. Makes contact there at about the 10-yard line, but Jakes gets ahead anyway as he shrugs off that tackler.
Yeah, Grudinskis had a blocker on him and still was able to make contact. Unfortunately, he couldn't bring the runner down.
Couldn't wrap him up. Jakes gets ahead for a positive yardage gain out to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 Blue Devils. Lumley back under center. Motion to his left side. Toss sweep to the left. Gets the edge. Gets out and around and gets tackled after a forward gain. That's Talon Walton out of bounds at about the 30, and they'll move the sticks again.
You know, they don't throw the ball a whole lot, but these pitches are almost like a passing game. They get the runner out to the sideline and try to use speed to get around the edge.
They sure do, and they get blockers out ahead of them, out into space, trying to take advantage of the weak spots in the defense. Lumley back under center, 1st and 10 Blue Devils at their own 30. Toss sweep to the right-hand side. This time, Jakes is stacked up behind the line of scrimmage, and he'll go down.
Yeah, you can only go to the well so many times.
That's Jack Riso coming up for the initial hit. And it'll be 2nd and 12 on that 2-yard loss.
.214, 2:13. Clock is ticking away here on the half. Bulldogs lead 6-0.
Lumley back, out under center, 2 backs in the backfield, split left. Pivots out, second man around. They're going to come to the left side for a sweep. Again, coming up for the tackle is Jack Riso on Talon Walton, trying to get the edge. He may have gotten ahead for 2 or 3 yards, but it'll be 3rd and long for the Blue Devils. Timeout is taken by Bedford as they see an opportunity to get another possession here.
And you're listening to WBNHLP Bedford 105.1. You're also watching BCTV channels 23 and 1072. I'd like to welcome all our viewers and listeners around Bedford and all over the world. We know a lot of families of the players like to watch and follow the games, so we welcome everybody on board here on our broadcast.
All kinds of people all over the country. Fantastic that you can dial in and watch your favorite player or your favorite program, or listen to your favorite commentator in Harry Kozlowski. Even though he's wearing a Bills jersey, we still love him here.
Well, like I said, I'm just feeling a little pride today after Josh Allen and crew took care of business in LA.
Thank you for your support of Bedford Bulldogs.
Pinkerton is up on Goffstown 27-0. Scores from around Division I football. Lumley marches the Blue Devil offense back out. 1:46 to go here in the half. 3rd and 8. He's under center. Motion man is Walton. Fakes the toss. Pass over the middle is complete at the 50-yard line. He has his man. That's Josh Brady on the reception. Out to the 48-yard line of the Bedford Bulldogs.
First pass completion there for Lumley. He's only 1 for 2.
1 for 2, but that one is a good one and gets the Blue Devils ahead for a first down on the Bedford 48-yard line. 1:30 to go in the first half.
We've got a pretty
Blue Devils are looking to get some points on the board.
We've got a pretty good contingent of Salem fans here today, too.
Double handoff up the middle. They get ahead for about a 5-yard gain. Be 2nd and 5. Carried there inside by Taylor Walton. Again, working on those misdirection plays, both with the backs as well as the linemen, trying to get their blockers coming at the defensive line from different angles as we tick under 1 minute to go.
Under a minute to play here. Salem still with 1 timeout. No, correction, they have no timeouts.
Lumley back under center. Fakes the toss out to his right. Comes back, and he's going to get stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
Drake Sutton.
That's Drake Sutton coming up, putting the stop on.
Salem not trying to stop the clock here. 30 seconds, clock running.
Salem can't stop the clock here, but they're going to try to get another play off. It is 3rd down. I guess they could have spiked it.
Yeah, I mean, you think they'd show a little urgency here. Try to spike the ball, even though they don't really throw the ball very often. Now they come to the line of scrimmage, 15 seconds to go.
They will get the play off. There was too many men in the huddle there as number 11 was running off the field. That was Dominic Martino. Play comes to the near side. Jakes tries to get the edge, but he can't. That's Dylan Soden on the tackle, near side. They will stop the clock with 1.1 to go. And the referees, I believe, missed one there. They had too many men in the huddle as Martino was hustling off the field right before the snap. They might be talking it over right now because that was too many men in the huddle.
Is it not too late to throw a flag?
I don't know. We'll see.
Can't put any time back on the clock.
Timeout. Officials are taking timeout. All right, maybe taking a measurement as the ball is marked at the Bedford 38-yard line, and that's what they're going to do. The officials from the far sideline are bringing the sticks across the field, and this is always a bit of a cluster as the players are always in the way, but they spread the field out. The sticks come all the way across, and we'll take a measurement. 1.1 seconds remain.
I don't know if you had a chance to watch any USFL games this spring.
I did not.
But the one thing that they did, which I thought was terrific, is they put a microchip in the ball, and they never had to take a measurement because the ball just told you where it was.
Wow, that's a unique idea. Measurement is showing it's 4th down for the Blue Devils. They're just shy by maybe about a foot. Spot will come out to the 38-ish yard line for the Blue Devils as they're heading in. They're in Bedford territory.
Yeah, they're going to be about the 38.
Any other unique characteristics of the USFL? I didn't get a chance to watch any of those games.
They had an onside play. Instead of kicking the ball, you had to convert a 4th and 15 from your own 25-yard line. Wow. And if you failed to do that, then obviously the other team would get the ball wherever the ball ended up.
Unique take on it. Lumley here in the gun. He's got 4 wide receivers, and his tight end is right. Looking to chuck it down the field, and a desperation play. 3 down linemen for the Bulldogs. They'll see if they can get some pressure on, and they do pretty quickly. Lumley's pass is up along the right-hand side, and it's picked off. They're going to have a chance to return it, but stumbling at the 25-yard line. I believe that's Colby Snow. with the interception.
Yeah, he got tied up with Jack Riso there.
I'm sorry, that was Sabati, Evan Sabati on the interception there. Playing center field back there, comes up with the interception on the last play of the half, and the Bulldogs will take a 6-0 lead into halftime.
Not much to recap there, just one score. A 47-yard pass play from Danny Black to Snow. It was a beautiful one-handed catch that went the distance, and that put the Bulldogs on the scoreboard. Extra point was no good.
Look at that. Easy scoring recap for you. Extra point, no good. So there's only 6 points on the board. The Bulldogs lead.
So we've been talking to ourselves for the last 3 minutes.
That was good practice.
We just saw the halftime show by the marching band and color guard. Thank you very much for providing some halftime entertainment. Hopefully you heard some fantastic styling tunes from the marching band from their show. We also want to make sure that we plug the music department mattress fundraiser. Yes, it is a strange one. Bill Jennings said he's going to buy about 50 mattresses at that fundraiser on Sunday, September 25th.
Going to hand them out for Christmas.
From 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Yes, it'd be an unusual Christmas present, but hey, why not?
Good night's sleep.
You're supposed to replace it after 10 years. That's not very long, right?
You are.
10 years. So
depends how much work it gets.
Anyway, get out there and buy a mattress. Also, quick plug for the Bedford Bulldogs Athletic Booster Club. They'd like to thank the generous sponsors, including Spectrum Marketing, Gear Up Bedford, Andre Management Group, Wicked Good Butcher, New Hampshire Orthopedic Center, BEI Network, London Family Orthopedics, Liberty Hill Construction, Realty One Group Next Level, River Road Pediatrics, and Z1 Express. In addition, the Bedford Friends of Football would like to thank the following sponsors: Coca-Cola Northeast, Cisco, CrossFit Athletics, Tidewater Catering Group, Treescapes, Fine Homes Group, 10 and 10 Attorneys, and Elsmore Catering. If you're interested in joining or helping out the Athletic Booster Club, please go to www.bbabc.net for more information. We appreciate all of those sponsors out there. And we're going to hit some replays here from the first half. Harry, what do you see?
A bunch of people moving very slowly.
Very slowly.
Not sure what play that is. I was hoping they'd replay the touchdown.
Looks like that was an early third down play where they stacked them up behind the line of scrimmage, forcing that fourth down play. I believe that might have been that first. That might have been the first possession for the Blue Devils that led to this interception, and this might be it right here.
This might, yeah.
Lumley reverse pivots. That's that ball out and picked off. Outstanding play there by Tagliaferro to get that interception and return it down to the Blue Devil 40. Here's Snow getting out to the right-hand side, and this is the fumble. He had first down yardage, unfortunately put the ball on the turf. Turnover followed by a turnover.
No, I believe this is the touchdown.
And here he atones for his mistake. Outstanding one-handed snag and turns it into a touchdown. 6 for 6. And those are the only points on the board so far. Lumley here gets sacked. Stacked up in the backfield. That was Jake Sheff on the sack there. Lumley again.
This is the fumble.
That was
in the second
fumble.
Period.
Squirted through all the way to Tagliaferro again, coming up with the turnover as he covered that fumble. Black, here's that run. Boom! You got Ledger Russell running over tacklers. And hopefully, no, they don't show his block on that ensuing play. It was a 5-yard gain, but outstanding play. Pass there and reception by Josh Brady.
And here's
this is the last drive of the first half.
Ending the half.
And Sabati, as you mentioned, playing center field there, stepping up for the interception. So we stay at 6-0. The Bedford Bulldogs lead the visiting Salem Blue Devils.
We got a beautiful full moon over the stadium tonight. Cloudless skies.
Can we get a shot of that, Bill? Let me see the moon. All of our viewers at home, is that full or is that nearly full as a waxing gibbous? I don't know. Somebody look it up. That's an unbelievable sight. Nice yellow tone to it. All of the folks in the stands are enjoying that viewing pleasure.
That's not quite a harvest moon. That's next month, I think, right?
You tell me. I mean, we're here in September. I believe harvest is in October. But I've never worked the fields. Have you?
No.
Okay.
Can't say I have.
Not sure they have many.
Certainly not under a harvest moon.
No cornfields up there in the great northern New York area?
No, but we have a lot of stone fruit orchards.
Okay.
Peaches, cherries, apples.
All right.
Plums.
Fantastic.
Really big farming territory.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
Great. Josh Brady back to kick off for the Blue Devils. Liner down the middle, taken by the Bulldogs and put right up the middle as Tagliaferro gets out to the 36, maybe the 37-yard line. Well, the Bulldogs will take over for second half action here from Bedford High School.
Quick programming note, we're going to be broadcasting live from Thornton Academy next Saturday, 1:30, the kickoff time, as they take on the Spartans of Thornton. Actually, is it the Trojans? I can't remember. I know some kind of mythology, some kind of ancient.
I'm getting a texter
warrior.
telling me it is the harvest moon. Great call, Harry.
Thank you.
Well done.
I would have thought that was in October.
Black in the gun. Slot right, split to the left. Sphere, chip block on the right side. Coming out near side, pass is complete for a 10-yard gain. That's Joel Poltrinari on the reception.
Good enough for a first down. Way to start.
And they move the sticks right away.
Felix Gonzalez.
So the Bulldogs come out firing. First down yardage. They move the sticks. They're out to their 47-yard line. Same formation, black in the pistol. Sphere steps up to his left. Man in motion is Tagliaferro. He'll get out to the left-hand side. Temporarily gets the edge. Flag is down on that far side. Probably have a holding penalty as Tagliaferro got maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
Tackled by Luke Mazeczka. And there's a flag on the play.
And we'll see how they sort out the yellow hanky, and it is holding. That occurred at about the 43-yard line, so it'll be a 10-yard penalty. And first and 23 or so as they sort this out. Early action here in the third quarter. The Bulldogs lead 6-0. And it's their first offensive possession in the second half here.
Thornton Academy are the Trojans, and they opened their season last week with a 35-0 win over Scarborough. And they're playing Oxford Hills tomorrow.
So a steep task for the Bulldogs as they approach next week. They're going to try to polish things off here this week, though, and they have some work to do here in the second half. Black in the gun. Takes the snap. Looks over the middle. Screen pass up the middle to Sphere, and he can't pull it in. Excuse me, that's Russell. No, that is Sphere. Jeez,
No,
I
it's
can't
number
tell
4.
that. 1 and 4. Is that
It
a
is
4?
4,
or
yeah,
1?
Russell.
Okay.
Second down.
I got an extra pair of glasses.
It's not even the glasses. I just can't distinguish between the 4 and 1. I see all the other numbers just fine.
And we're also looking through several panes of glass, and the glare can make it hard. Excuses.
So, yeah, well, anyway, that was Ledger Russell. They had him set up for the screen. He had some blockers with him. Pass was a little wide of center, but still probably could have come down with it. Good play call on a first in light years.
Second and 25 now.
Second and 25. It is Ledger Russell to Black's left. Slot right, split left. Wide receiver screen near side. Colby Snow comes back, receives it, gets up the field for about a 10-yard gain out to the 47-yard line.
We've got about almost half of that back, making it a more manageable 3rd and 13, I'm going to say.
Manageable is exactly how I was going to describe it. It's not, half the field to make up now. It's 3rd
Actually,
and
3rd
13 or 14. So
it is 3rd and 15. So you were closer.
Bulldogs come out to the line. Slot left. Snow split to the right. Snow goes in motion. They fake it to him. Look up the field. Danny Black steps up. Has a receiver. Wow, what a defensive play. That's Adam Getz.
And they threw a
and
flag.
a flag comes in late. Ooh. Let's see the replay on that. I thought he made a great play, but the referee might have seen him grabbing with his offhand there. You see the fake there. Black steps up into the pocket, got some good protection. Pass down the field, and that was Adam Getz coming over the top. And he gets penalized for pass interference.
Getting a little too chummy too soon. Probably just arriving at the ball a little too early.
And you know what we can't see from our angle is that offhand. Getz came around with his left hand, reached across the receiver, and tipped the ball away. We couldn't see what his right hand was doing, whether it had jersey, whether it had an arm, whether he was holding or not. So the referees are sorting through what's going on here. 10:15 left to go in the third quarter, so early action. First possession for the Bulldogs here in the second half. And the referees are talking it over and trying to figure out how to sort this out. They are going to march forward from the Bedford 42-yard line.
Now, this is an automatic first, right?
It's not an automatic first in high school, but they will march off 15 yards, and that should be just enough for a first down. And they do signal first down.
Just barely.
Bulldogs get the benefit of a call there and march ahead to the Salem 42-yard line. We hear the Boo Birds out from the Salem sideline, or from the Salem audience.
Yeah, they're just to our right.
I can't really argue with them too much. I didn't quite see all the details, but it looked like Getz had a great play. Black now hands off to Russell. He gets stacked up behind the line of scrimmage. He goes down hard. And that is Matthew Doyle, I believe, number 69.
We actually have two 69s on the roster.
Okay, which one is it? Take your pick. It's probably Matthew Doyle.
Dominic Toscano or Matthew Doyle.
I'm going with the senior, not the sophomore. Probably the senior. But who knows? Perhaps Dominic Toscano is an outstanding sophomore.
We could yell out the window and ask somebody in the Salem.
Somebody will
fans
know.
Would know. Hey.
Either way, it's a loss of 2 and 2nd and 12 for the Bulldogs on the Blue Devil 45. Black in the gun. Man in motion is Tagliaferro. Fakes to him. Black goes up the middle. He's ahead for positive yardage and out for a 10-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 2. As Black had a great hole to run through there. You could see it wasn't really touched until he got to the linebacker level. Tagliaferro in motion. Little misdirection there. Linebackers go with Tagliaferro. Black pulls it down and gets ahead for that 10-yard gain. 3rd and 2.
Tagliaferro really sold it to the Salem defense, creating just enough of a seam for Black to run through.
Black in the pistol again. I believe that's Sphere behind him. Slot right. Sphere steps up to the left. Tagliaferro in motion again. They give it to Sphere. Out back to the right-hand side. He is very close to a first down at the Blue Devil 33-yard line.
I'm going to say he's half yard short.
I think he's short, too.
Judging by the spot from the sideline judge.
They're going to bring in their bone team, which is a big, beefy guys, and go for short yardage here as it's 4th and less than a yard. In Blue Devil territory, too far for a field goal. A punt is a waste of an opportunity, so Coach Matthews is going to go for it on 4th and 1. Big beefy bodies in the backfield. Looks like they might be in a wildcat here. Sabati takes the snap, goes off the right side, and he's got the first down. That's Evan Sabati stepping in to run the Wildcat, as you see here on the replay.
Nothing fancy, just ran straight.
Nope. McAuliffe checking what the signal is. Probably wanted to make sure he had the snap count. There you go on the replay. Sabati takes the direct snap, goes to the right-hand side, and squirts ahead just for enough yardage, and they move the sticks. 1st and 10 on the Blue Devil 32. Just under 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Bulldogs hold a 6-0 lead that they've held since the first quarter. 3 receivers to the right for Black. Pistol. Soden motions to the left-hand side. They give it to Sphere. He gets a lot of room up the left side, but now cuts back to the right. He's got a lot more room. Gets down to the 10-yard line, and a 22-yard run by Logan Sphere. gets the Bedford crowd off their feet, and me too, I couldn't see.
It's going to be first and goal from the 9. Sphere just bobbing and weaving his way through between about 4 Salem defenders.
I have to believe there is some sort of injury that's been hampering Sphere early in the season. We haven't seen as much of him as I expected. He's been splitting time, although Ledger Russell has been outstanding when he has been in there. Sphere's leg is wrapped up a little bit, but he seems to be working through whatever it is. And he is accompanying Black in the backfield again. Pistol formation, Soden offset right, slot left, McAuliffe is tight right. 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Black takes the snap, gives it to Sphere again. He goes up the right-hand side, gets down to about the 5-yard line where he's stacked up by a host of Blue Devil defenders.
Tackle was made by Joshua Brady.
Josh Brady
Along with Joshua
and Josh Mangian come up and make the stop for the Blue Devils.
Makes it second down and 6.
It's been a great drive here so far for the Bulldogs.
First drive of the third quarter, and they're making the most of it.
They used up about half of the third quarter, helped along by a pass interference call on third down.
Black in the pistol. Sphere behind him, takes the snap, fakes to Sphere on the way through. Tries to get the left edge, but he's going to be tackled for a loss back at the 9-yard line. It'll be third and goal from the 9.
Nice tackle made by Luke Masechka.
So what's the call on third and 9? You don't want to do anything too risky because you do have, you're well within field goal range here.
Sure, you're looking at, I don't know, what is it, about 26, 27-yard field goal. So that's definitely makeable distance. Snow has the leg for that. You don't want a turnover, but you got third and goal, so take a shot at the end zone, maybe a fade to the far sideline there. Snow split out to the left there. Black in the pistol again, slot right. Sphere steps up to the right. Pass protections. Black looks downfield, scrambles out to his right-hand side, looks to force downfield, throws it into the end zone, but it's out of bounds. Incomplete pass. It'll be fourth and goal from the 9.
I think he was throwing it away. The pass intended for Joe Poltrinari, who had a sliver of a window, but Black was running and probably didn't feel like he could thread the needle on that throw, so just tossed it out of bounds.
Black's athleticism gave him some time. Tried to let the play develop and a receiver come open, but none were able to. Clock stops on the incomplete pass. 5:17 left to go in the third quarter, and we're going to see Snow attempt a field goal from the left hash. It'll be a 26-yard attempt. Evan Sabati with the hold. Snow takes his steps back, lines it up. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up. Looks good, and it is good. 3 points on the board. Snow has accounted for all 9 points for the Bulldogs. His touchdown in the first quarter, and now a field goal here in the third quarter, and Bedford takes a 9-0 lead with 5:13 to go in the third quarter.
And that's huge in a game that's been played this tightly. A 2-score lead with only about a quarter and a half left.
A little bit of breathing room. You know your defense has been playing well if they haven't scored, if the Blue Devils have not scored through the first 2.5 quarters of play. And as you mentioned, that first drive of the third quarter took up more than half of the quarter. That's
almost
that's
7 minutes.
Great sustained offensive play. Both play calling, they benefited from the penalty, and they're able to put points on the board to start the third.
Yeah, if this turns out to be the margin of victory here, I think a lot of people are going to be saying, what about that penalty call? But, we can't see it clearly enough from here.
A lot of game to be played. A lot of game to be played. Snow, as he has been all over the field, will take the kickoff now, takes the steps back. Coverage team is on. Approach, and the kick is deep and straight. Taken there by Kalen Smith. Gets ahead to the 15-yard line, the 20-yard line, maybe out to the 21, but won't go much further than that. And the Blue Devils will come back out and begin their first possession of the third quarter on their own 21-yard line. Now, we saw a few different wrinkles there.
Yeah.
Obviously, the wing T is what their normal formation is, but we did see Lumley come out in the gun a few times to try to mix in some unusual looks for a wing T offense. We'll see how they approach the third quarter drive now.
And they've really only attempted 2 passes and are 1 for 2 throwing the ball. So do they go to the air here with just a quarter and a half left?
Lumley is back in the gun. Motion. Now he comes under center. Reverse pivot. Jakes takes it off the left side, and they come up and makes the stop. That's Jack Rizzo. Apologies on the pronunciation in the first half. That's Rizzo. He makes the stop after a 2-yard gain by David Jakes.
Jakes actually gaining the advantage after hitting, making contact with Rizzo, adding another 2 yards after contact.
2nd and 8. It looked like Lumley was going to be in the gun, but he did come up under center. He's taking a similar approach. Shifts his skill position players under center, reverse pivot. First man through, and tackled for no gain is Alexander DeVoe.
That was Alexander DeVoe.
Maybe 1-yard gain. We'll have 3rd and 7.
Got it marked at about the 24 and a half.
So
got to make the 30, so
Gain of 1 on a play.
31, I believe. They got about 6 or 7 yards to go here on this
right.
third down
I thought
play.
it was a 20. You're right.
And therefore, this is a critical early play in the second half for the Blue Devils. Lumley approaches the line of scrimmage. Now he'll come under center.
Jakes in
Motion man is Jakes. Toss sweep to the right-hand side. Coming up to make the stick is Alex Gradinskis for a limited gain, if any. It'll be 4th and 5. Maybe got a 2-yard gain there. 4th and 5 will force the Blue Devils to punt in their own territory as they're on their own 27-yard line.
It's been pretty obvious so far that man in motion is often the receiver of the pitch back. So I think after running that play at least a dozen times, Bedford defense kind of figured out who to key in on.
Josh Brady will punt, gets it away. Deep right side. Wow, he gets a very good bounce as this ball goes out of bounds at the Bedford 23-yard line. That's quite a kick. Probably about a 20-yard bounce in favor of the Blue Devils.
Yeah, Bedford didn't even try to field the ball. They just let it go over their heads. I don't know if they anticipated a shorter kick, because most of the kicks have been kind of short from Salem.
Yeah, just about a 50-yard punt there. Has a huge change in field position, and the Blue Devils needed that one. .252 to go in the third quarter. Bulldogs hold a 9-0 lead on the field goal by Snow.
And we'll see if they can put together another long drive. Another touchdown could just about put this game away. It would be 2 scores, but it would be 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions, making it awfully hard for Salem to come back from that.
Officials take a quick break as the trainer trots to the opposite side. The Bulldogs will come to the line of scrimmage. Slot right. 2 backs in the backfield with Black. Takes the shotgun, hands it to Russell. He gets around the right edge.
Well, he got hit out of bounds. I don't know if they're going to flag that.
Probably not. He looked like he was tiptoeing that line and took a shot to force him out of bounds.
We share the press box with the opposing team coaches, and you can hear, or I could hear, the defensive coach yelling, "Sweep, sweep, sweep," just before that play, and he was right. It was a sweep to the left.
Maybe not playing good enough poker. They're tipping their plays, but he was onto it.
Gain of 5 on the play brings up 2nd and 5.
Black now in the pistol. Motion man is Snow. Misdirection. They hand it off up the middle. Is Sphere. Churns his legs to get ahead.
Very close.
Very close to the first down at the 33-yard line.
Made by Gavin Simone.
I think
And they will move the sticks.
Yeah, he made it.
Good for a first down.
First down is signaled. The Bulldogs coming out of their own end.
133.
Get the first down on Sphere's hard-nosed run up the middle.
So another first down here on the second possession of the half for the Bulldogs. They've really been controlling the play.
Bedford's had success on the ground so far, so I can imagine that they'll be content to keep running time off the clock and pounding it right up the gut here. Black in the gun, slot right, tight left. And that's what they do. They hand it off. Left tackle. Ahead for 3 or 4 yards is Sphere.
Kind of a reversal from the first quarter when Salem had all the possession, but Bedford had the lead
Taylor Wolf
on 5 plays.
also in the tackle.
Now Bedford is controlling the ball on the ground.
They sure are.
Gain of 4 play.
Second and a long 6. Clock ticks away. Just about 90 seconds to go in the third. Pistol for Black. Snow in motion. And they hand it off again right up the middle. That's Alex Gradinskis having his first carry for a 3 or 4 yard gain out to the 40 and a half yard line. It'll be 3rd and short, 3rd and 3.
Good second effort there by Gradinskis. After taking the initial hit, he gutted it out for another 2 yards.
A bit upright in his stance, though. You might want to see his shoulders a little bit farther and lower down, trying to get better leverage on would-be tacklers. He's running through that hole a bit straight up and down. He's exposing his body for people coming in and taking shots at him.
One more play, I believe, in this quarter. We're down to about 40 seconds.
Slot right. Black in the gun. Toss sweep. Ledger Russell comes near side. Gets a block on the outside ahead for a first down yardage and about 5 yards extra as he gets out to the 49-yard line. And they will move the sticks again. You see here on the replay, watch this block on the edge, Harry. I believe it was Snow right here, engaging. Right there, yep. Russell cuts it back up inside, and that move right there got him the first down, and then he bowls ahead for a few extra yards. 20 seconds to go here in the third quarter. They may not get another snap off before. Not sure about the play clock, but Black is certainly looking at the game clock. He will take the snap. Fakes it up the middle to Russell. Looks downfield. Has a man on the out pattern. Is Cal McAuliffe, and he's receiving it ahead down to the 25-yard line. And they finally looked for their tight end. Cal McAuliffe was a big part of their offense last season, and here he makes a great reception ahead.
Yeah, he hasn't made too many appearances on the offensive score sheet this season.
26-yard catch here for McAuliffe.
But a big play here to finish out the third quarter to put Bedford in terrific position. They're going to have 1st and 10 from the Salem 25-yard line with 12 minutes to go, up 9-0.
They will swap sides of the field. It's good to see McAuliffe make that reception. He's a big body and has very good hands. And gets a 26-yard reception there to put Bedford in a good position to start the fourth quarter. Some stand tunes by the marching bands, some backflips by the cheerleaders.
Always a great atmosphere here.
And a 9-point lead, 9-0.
Going to try to see if we can get you any more scores from Division I. So, Bill, do we have any soccer games coming up on BCTV this week?
We're looking at one next week, but we'll let you know.
All right.
But it all depends on Mr. Ulster Tigers' schedule.
TBD.
On unsure of programming. Again, Bedford will travel to Maine next week. They will take on Thornton Academy. Salem.
Andrew Fenn's going to make that trip with me, right? I'll be calling the game, and Andrew's going to run the camera. We're going to run lean and mean.
Unfortunately, I have a conflict and will not be able to make that game. But you can listen to the sweet tenor of Harry Kozlowski.
Yeah, maybe I should practice a little here. Call the fourth quarter.
Salem will play host to Exeter next Friday night, 7 p.m. Should be a good battle of two tough-nosed teams. Wing T against wing T. Black in the gun here. Soden in motion to his left. And we're going to have probably a false start. False start on the offense, 1st and 15, so it backs the Bulldogs up 5 to the 30-yard line as they head in Blue Devil territory. Not the way you want to start the fourth quarter with a penalty.
And the clock didn't even start, so really hasn't run any more time off the clock here.
Black trots into the huddle. Shares the play with his teammates, and they come out slot left. Pistol formation, Soden offset right.
First down and 15.
Black takes the snap, fakes the handoff, pitches out near side, and has his man for the reception. That's Joel Poltrinari on the catch. Gets ahead for about 9 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And Snow with a big block to spring that, and it was kind of got the guy in the back a little bit. He kind of did the hands up, who me?
Oh, Harry, I don't know. Tough to tell from this angle. Give the benefit of the doubt to the blocker, I guess.
I mean, Snow thought enough of it to throw his hands up.
Slot left here. Black in the pistol. Snow goes in motion across the formation. It looks like he might have been in the wrong spot. Black takes the snap. Over the middle of McAuliffe again, getting him in the mix. Big boy is hard to take down. Gronk-esque, if I may, as McAuliffe is one of the larger kids on the Bedford squad at 6'5", 230. He's a beast to try to take down after he makes that catch over the middle.
And props to Ledger Russell, who came up with a big block on the rusher, number 59, Luke Mazeka. He sealed off that rusher and gave Black just enough time to get the pass to McAuliffe.
So Russell runs people over, he blocks, and he steps up in pass protection too. Multifaceted player. Black in the pistol. Sphere steps forward. Snow in motion. He gets the ball. Trying to get that left edge, but he'll stumble down at about the 10-yard line. And a gain of maybe 2. 2nd and 8. There is room to get a first down at about the 2-yard line as the Bulldogs head in on the Blue Devils' 11-yard line.
Clock ticking away. We're coming up on the 10-minute mark here. This is just what Bedford wanted.
Sustained offensive possessions, tick the time off.
Even a field goal puts them up 2 touchdowns.
So Black with Sphere behind him. Slot right. Soden in motion. Gets to the left side. Black hands it off to Sphere. Good play there. Number 52, I believe.
Actually, it was 26, Daniel Hughes.
26, okay, Daniel Hughes coming up for that tackle after only maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain. 3rd and 7 at the Blue Devil 9.
That brings up 3rd down and 7.
Similar yardage for a field goal attempt at this point in time. It would likely be a 26-yarder from this distance.
Let's keep an eye on McAuliffe on this play.
Timeout is taken here as Coach Matthews didn't like how long it was taking that play to get in and worried about the play clock. You don't want to take a silly 5-yard delay of game penalty here. So a timeout with 9:05 to go in the game. Bedford leads 9-0 over the Blue Devils.
So 2 big drives here, just eating up clock.
First of the half took nearly 7 minutes off the play clock. Excuse me, the game clock.
This one's at least 5 minutes long.
Sure is. That first resulting in a 26-yard field goal by Snow.
And the big play in this drive came at the end of the third quarter. The big connection to McAuliffe for about 25, 30 yards.
Yeah, 26 yards, if I remember correctly. They were on their own 49 and got all the way down to Salem's 25-yard line. And then McAuliffe followed that up with a first down reception here deep in Blue Devil territory.
You know what happened the last time Coach Matthews called the timeout before?
Yeah,
the big play.
It was a spectacular play by Colby Snow on the slant and go.
Just like they drew it up.
One-handed stab, pulled it in, and was off to the races for that 53-yard touchdown in the first quarter. Snow, Tagliaferro swapping sides. Looks like Poltrinari, looks like all the receivers were on the wrong side, so they'll swap sides. Black in the gun. Motion Snow. Pulls it down. Black rolls right, looks over the middle, and it's intercepted in the end zone. He'll come out, and there is a flag down, so a lot to sort out here. Looked like Felix Gonzalez, number 18, with that interception.
He was a hold on Bedford, so they're going to decline that. And I think somebody heard me mention McAuliffe's name because that pass was intended for McAuliffe.
Sure was, but he threw into coverage there, and Gonzalez came across. Nice play with his hands, got it out and away from his body. Returned it out to the Blue Devil 10-yard line. Probably felt that he had more yardage and more room to run. But that holding penalty is declined, and the Blue Devils will take over. They dodge a bit of a bullet there as the Bulldogs aren't able to put any points on the board.
Well, it's still a 2-score game, 9-0, with 8:57 to go. Salem has to go 90 yards here to get anything. I don't know what their kicker's capability is like.
Probably not good from 90 yards. Lumley looks to pass, gets away from McAuliffe, gets back out and beyond the line of scrimmage, but gets hammered as Jake Sheff came up with a stick.
Tackle made by Parker Bromley.
I believe Bromley and Sheff combined it on that tackle. And the clock continues to run. 2nd and 7 after that gain of 3.
2nd and 6.
Blue Devils sorting through their personnel.
It looks like they had 12 in the huddle again.
Lumley to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers to his right now. Motion man, and it's a pitch. It looks like he's looking to throw, and he's going to get wrapped up. Great stick there by Alex Gradinskis for a big loss. His forward motion was out to about the 4-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to mark him down at the 5 because that's where contact was made, dragged him into. He did land into the end zone.
That was David Gasparo took the pitch, and honestly, I looked like he was looking to make a halfback pass there.
I think that's a very good conjecture. They had the 3 receivers out there.
Dale, you showed that.
Ready to throw.
You showed that replay. Can we see that again? Looked like he was trying to grip the laces there. Here it comes again. Gasparo, you'll see, comes in motion from that left side, takes the pitch from Lumley. You can see him feeling for the laces here, but Gradinskis was just in his face way too fast, and any further attempt at a pass play was going to be disaster for the Blue Devils.
But once again, the tell is the motion and the pitch. They have been doing that all game. So it's almost like, hey, this guy's getting the ball. This is where you need to go. And even though it might have been a pass play, or maybe they thought that they could have drawn the rusher in kind of like a screen and leave a receiver open on that side, they were able to close it quickly enough before he could even get into position to throw the ball.
So I recall Exeter doing something to offset that, right? As they had the motion man, they would fake the pitch out pretty high, show the ball to the defense, and then get the misdirection back to where the motion man came from. Lumley here, reverse pivots, quick pitch out, has his man ahead for positive yardage, but not enough for a first down. That's Josh Brady on the catch. It gets out to about the 16-yard line. They're about 4 yards short, so it'll be 4th and 4.
Are they going to kick?
They are changing personnel, so I believe they will punt here with 7:20 to go in the game. Personnel still running on. Their long snapper wasn't quite ready for that. He's out there now, and Brady is back to kick. 4th and 4. Snap is back. True. Brady gets the kick away out to his left-hand side. Sticks at about the 41-yard line and trickles out of bounds at the Blue Devil 44, where the Bulldogs will take over. So they get an interception and prevent yardage. Their offense stalls and they're forced to punt.
Yeah, no harm from that turnover by Bedford. But now they've got 7 minutes left in regulation, and they're in pretty good position here. If they can get it within the 10 or 15-yard line, try a field goal, make it into a 2-touchdown difference.
Well, why not be greedy and just go for pay dirt? You can imagine that Coach Matthews will keep it on the ground, pounding it up the middle and keeping that clock running. Black in the pistol again, Sphere behind him. Snow in motion, left to right. They give it to Sphere, off left tackle. Keeps his legs moving, gets ahead for about a 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, he got out of a tackle attempt there by Trevor DeReese, tried to wrap him up, maybe he tried to go for the ball rather than make a tackle. He was able to gain a few more yards after contact.
And that's a great call, Harry, because you're telling your defense to swat and smack and punch at that ball, trying to get a turnover any way you can if you're the Blue Devils.
6:27 left.
You may be even content to give up a couple extra yards if you're trying to pull that ball out for a fumble. Black again in the pistol, Sphere behind him. Snow in motion, left to right. Misdirection, Sphere up the right guard
That was Logan Spear on the carry.
for about 2 yards, to be generous.
Setting him up for a 3rd down and 4.
3rd and 5-ish?
3rd and 5.
We'll call it 5.
3rd down and 5.
Sphere trots to the sideline, as does Dylan Soden. So we'll see Ledger Russell in the backfield with Danny Black. Soden trots back on, and Snow will come to the sideline.
I'm thinking this might be 2-down territory to get the first down.
Although the way your defense is playing, why not try to punch them way back in their own territory? You might see that quick kick by Black again. Not here on 3rd down. It's 3rd and 5. Black in the gun, 2 backs. He gives it to Poltrinari. He gets out to the left edge, picks up a couple blocks, cuts it back up, and gets down. But we do have a flag on the play, sitting at about the 35-yard line. He did get down to the Blue Devil 27-yard line.
It's going to be a hold on, I'm not sure who that was, 70-something.
Holding, as you say, on Bedford. So this will force them back. It will likely be about a 3rd and 10, as that holding call happened at just about the 29-yard line, which is what they needed to achieve for the first down. So 3rd and 10 as the referees march it off. 5:10 to go here in the game. Bulldogs still hold a 9-0 lead.
Big penalty there, because they had the first down and they could have just kept running the clock. Now clock is stopped, 5:10. It's going to be a 3rd and 10 at their 44. They have to get to the 34-yard line to make first.
Black in the gun, and Coach Matthews takes the timeout. He saw some confusion in the backfield. Tagliaferro and Ledger Russell were side by side with Black. And Coach Matthews saw the confusion as they were swapping sides, and he'll take a timeout. 5:10 to go in the game. Bedford holds a 9-0 lead.
So once again, a reminder, next week, next Saturday, we're going to be traveling to Saco, Maine, have the Bulldogs face the Trojans of Thornton Academy, one of the first out-of-state football games for the Bulldogs. So we're going to be broadcasting that live both on TV and radio. 1:30 kickoff. We're going to try to get on the air about 1:20 on the 17th.
All you viewers out there, be sure to tune in. Harry's bringing the whole crew. Well, maybe not the whole crew, at least one of the crew.
Me, myself, and I.
Oh, maybe you. Okay, maybe you.
And Andrew Fenn.
Oh, Andrew. All right. Thank you, Andrew.
He's got the night off. Probably because he has to work next Saturday.
Going to be a party up in Portland with you two characters. Black takes the snap, looks right. Ball is out, just over the head. Can't quite make the connection with Jack Rizzo. He had the yardage, but it bounced off his hands. And the Bulldogs will now face 4th and 10. We might see that quick kick again. I don't see a tar going out there. He's staying stationed on the sideline. So the offense stays on the field. And they may either attempt a 4th and 10 play, or they'll resort to that quick kick. They come to the line of scrimmage.
Salem not sending anybody back. They're playing it like it's a real play.
Black in the gun. Takes the snap, and he will quick kick it. Bounces at the 15, and a very good bounce. And they will down it inside the 5-yard line at the 3, and the strategy works to perfection there, as Black got an outstanding bounce in favor of the Bulldogs. The Blue Devils will take over on their own 3-yard line.
And not just the initial bounce, but the reverse bounce when it got close to the goal line slowed down enough for a Bedford play to down the ball.
Field position battle here in favor of the Bulldogs. And now the defense is going to make the Blue Devils march 97 yards to at least get on the scoreboard, and they have more work to do after that.
And they only have 4:56 to do it in.
Lumley to the line of scrimmage, under center. Takes a snap, pivots out, and he gets stacked up.
That's going to be a safety.
And that is a safety. That is handed off to David Jakes. And you'll see on the replay here, he does not get out of the end zone. As the Bulldogs step up, wrap him up 2 yards deep in the end zone, and you see all of the Bulldogs players putting their hands above their heads in the safety position.
And they get the ball back here.
2 points on the board, a very unusual score of 11-0. The Bulldogs have 11 points. How many times do you see that in football?
Not often.
I mean, what?
If
field goal and a 2-point conversion after a touchdown, there you get to 11. You don't see that very often.
But that 2 points now makes it a 2-touchdown game. And with Bedford in possession here, there's only 2 timeouts left for the Blue Devils. All they have to do, they don't have to score. They just have to run some clock off, get a first down or two, and I think they can cruise to victory.
The Blue Devils have the option of punting this ball. Looks like Josh Brady will use the tee and kick it off. I would imagine if you're the Bulldogs, you're still tentative and thinking there might be an onside kick in this potential situation with 4:49 to go in the game and the Blue Devils needing to score. The Bulldogs do not have a hands team on the field, as Brady will kick off from the 20. But hopefully they're aware. Brady approaches and kicks it deep. Tagliaferro will chase it out of bounds, and that will be a flag as it trickled out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
That makes me wonder, if he had punted the ball and it went out of bounds, it would not be a flag. But because they kicked it off a tee, it is illegal procedure.
I think it would still be a flag even if he punted it.
Doesn't matter? Okay.
Either way, he kicked it off a tee, and it goes out of bounds, so it is a penalty on the Blue Devils. Ball will be marked at the Blue Devil 45.
A penalty on them. Ball's at the 45. There was a penalty on them as well.
So Blue Devils are reeling here. Black in the pistol. Soden motions left to right, stops over the right guard. Black fakes the handoff deep down the right-hand side, has his man Snow, and it's good. Touchdown. Colby Snow, 45-yard touchdown pass from Black. And it pays off as he runs the post pattern. You see on the replay, Black just airs it out. Snow had 3 steps on his nearest defender, pulls it down. And the Bulldogs go ahead 17-0 with the extra point to follow.
So Zach Matthews, the Riverboat Gambler, calls that long pass, and all he really had to do was just run the clock out. But instead decides to put another score on the board and really put this away.
Snap for the extra point is low, kick is up, and it is no good. Shanks it left. However, Snow, the hero of the game, has all 17 points, except for the safety, of course. I don't believe he was in on that tackle, but 15 of the 17 points on 2 touchdowns and the field goal. And the Bulldogs extend their lead to 17-0, 4:42 to go here in the game, and things are looking rosy for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's a 3-score deficit now for the Blue Devils, who haven't really been able to get on the board, really haven't gotten into scoring position at all this game.
And a lot of that credit goes to the Bulldog defense. Their front seven, as we talked about at the top of the broadcast, has been critical in controlling the line of scrimmage, getting their linebackers free to make those tackles, not being fooled by misdirection, and really putting the wraps on this game, as the Blue Devils have had limited offense, illustrated by their 0 points on the board. Snow takes his steps back. He will kick it deep. Approach. Kick is up down the left side. Looks like that will go out of bounds, and it will. So Kalen Smith was the nearest person to catch that, but didn't need to as it trickles out of bounds, and the Blue Devils will take over to try to muster some kind of offense on their own 35-yard line.
Just 4:42 remaining here. And the Salem faithful who made the trip off I-93 rather quiet right now.
Marching band stands up for another stand tune. Some people are headed for the exits, trying to dodge some traffic, as this game is seemingly out of reach for the Blue Devils. Still some time, but it's not unheard of. But you would think the Bulldogs are in a good position here. Lumley brings the Blue Devils to the line of scrimmage. They'll step back. He's in the gun now, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks deep over the middle, has his man, but too high over the head of intended receiver Josh Brady. It will be incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the Blue Devils are now forced into being a team they haven't been all day, a passing team. You know, they're the wing tee, they're the ball control team, and now they're down 3 scores, and really the game's out of hand at this point.
Couple of successful pass plays early on, but not very many, as they've kept the ball on the ground.
2 for 2, I think, or 2 for 4, I should say.
2 for 4, according to Harry's quick stats from his head. Lumley takes a snap again, looks left, fires it over the middle, has his man ahead. It's first down yardage and more, 17-yard gain to Sam Jones over the middle. Down to the Bedford 49-yard line. They'll stop the clocks and move the chains. 4.5 to go. Ball spotted at the Bedford 48.5.
You know, if you can make plays like that in the fourth quarter with 4 minutes to go, why not call a few early on?
Good question. Not necessarily their bread and butter and not necessarily the style of offense that Coach Abraham wants to pursue, but it's a valid question. Lumley in the gun again. Takes the snap, rolls out to his right. Under pressure, and that ball is incomplete. Intended receiver there again was Sam Jones, and he stumbled.
He's looking for a flag. He's asking the referee why no flag, but really no reason to, because I think he just fell down on his own.
Even if feet got tangled, the referees did not see it as interference. I was focused more on Lumley rolling out versus him. I did see him on the ground, so he feels like he was interfered with. But
I think
yellow hanky.
It was more of a tangle, if anything.
We have a flag on the play as the infrequent passing offense leads to an ineligible man down the field for the Blue Devils. So they will march him back 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15. So incomplete pass, but there was a penalty on the play. Lumley again was rolling out to his right, and one of those offensive linemen just got a little too far ahead of the play. Lumley in the gun again. 4 wide receiver set. Jake's in the backfield. Looks deep right-hand side. Ball just off the fingertips there of his intended receiver, Sam Jones. Can't pull it in at the Bedford 20-yard line. So incomplete pass, 2nd and 15.
Yeah, he had single coverage on Jones, and he had a shot at the ball. Couldn't pull it down.
Poltrinari was there in coverage. Both were searching for the ball, and again, Jones got his hands on it, but couldn't quite pull it in. So it is 2nd and 15. You're telling your defensive backs and corners and safeties, even linebackers, give them a little extra space. Play that bend but don't break kind of defensive positioning here. 4 wide for the Blue Devils. Snap is fumbled on the ground there. Lumley struggles to pick it up cleanly, and he'll take a sack. Back at the 42-yard line.
Kevin Sheridan, one of the tacklers, one of about 3 or 4 Bedford tacklers.
Wrapping him up in the backfield and forcing a 3rd and 20.
You know, one of the advantages of the passing plays is if it is incomplete, it does stop the clock.
In this case, the sack keeps the clock running. Bulldogs in a prevent-like defense. They'll have a 3-down lineman set with the rest of their 8 players playing in a prevent kind of defense.
Yeah, Bedford just rushing 3 now.
Lumley takes the shotgun, rolls to his left.
Still got pressure,
over the middle, and it's intercepted. Looks like Jack Rizzo on the interception there at the Bedford 47-yard line, and they get a turnover here, which should extinguish any threat by the Bulldogs.
Great pressure by the 2 of the 3 rushers. Made Lumley throw that ball early, and he threw it into double coverage.
Forced into an errant throw. Had a receiver in the area, but Rizzo steps up and picks it off.
At their own 47.
3:04 to go in the game. Bedford ahead 17-0. Roger Brown's 1-point game prediction.
A little off.
But
he picked the right winner.
He sure did. He anticipated a few more struggles for the Bulldogs offense, and they seem to have buttoned things up over the past week of practice. Black in the gun. Hands it off. Sphere up the right side. Bowls ahead for more yardage than what appeared initially on an 8-yard run. It'll be 2nd and 2, and the clock ticks.
You're listening to WBNHLP Bedford 105.1. You're also watching BCTV channels 23 and 1072 and streaming online.
Black to the line of scrimmage again. 3 receivers to his left side. Quick pitch out to the left-hand side. Ledger Russell tries to get the edge. Wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, but he lunges ahead for maybe a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, he ran a long way for about a half a yard of yardage there. And not even. It looks like they're going to mark him down at the 45.
About 2 yards to gain for a first down. It's 3rd and 2. And we just ticked under 2 minutes to go here in the game. 17-0 is your score. The Bulldogs have led from early in the first quarter on Snow's slant pattern. 53-yard touchdown. And they've built the lead here in the second half with a field goal, a safety, and another touchdown from Snow. Black in the pistol. Hands it off to Sphere up the middle. He crushes a couple of would-be tacklers. 5-yard gain, and they move the sticks.
And that's going to do it.
That should just about do it. We might see a victory formation here and maybe 1 or 2 kneel downs.
Salem still has 2 timeouts, although it's obvious they're not going to use them.
We won't need those.
Clock running again, 1:20.
They did pause the clock and move the sticks ahead as they normally do on a first down. No victory formation here. Black is in the pistol again, Sphere behind him. Snow left, Polchinari right. Soden upright. Sphere up the middle. Man, he just carries tacklers with him. Ahead for 4 yards. And he carried 2 tacklers for about 3 yards. He comes up a little gingerly, limping on one of his gimpy legs. 40 seconds to go here. And now we'll see the victory formation. Deep behind Black is Snow. It's an unusual victory formation as Black is behind the line of scrimmage by about 4 or 5 yards. He'll kneel it down, and that will take them to victory with just about 20 seconds to go under the play clock. And the time will tick off. The Bedford Bulldogs bounce back from an early season loss and even their record at 1-1, taking home a 17-0 victory here in their home opener.
And they look sharp, even though a few early turnovers stalled a few drives. They moved the ball. The passing offense, really the difference, I think, in this game. That added dimension really made the difference here with 2 touchdowns.
It sure did. Coach Matthews is going to be pleased with this week of practice. They do have a tough test ahead next week. As Harry's been talking about, next Saturday they head to Maine to take on Thornton Academy. For Harry Kozlowski, I'm Corey Munster-Tiger. Appreciate the entire BCTV crew. Bill Jennings, Colleen Richardson, Andrew Fenn, and Dale Bird back in the studio. We appreciate everybody out there watching and listening. Have a great night, everybody. We'll join you next time. So long.